Just 9 weeks after Donald Trump narrowly survived an assassination attempt, America's secret services are tonight trying to find out how and why a second gunman appears to have got far too close to him again. This time, there doesn't seem to have been a shot fired at Mr. Trump, whose security reacted swiftly to a gun seen poking through some bushes at his golf course in Florida. A man fled the scene. Tonight, a suspect named as Ryan Wesley Routh has been charged with firearms offences. The FBI confirmed it's investigating what appears to be an attempted assassination. President Biden said the US Secret Service needs more personnel. Mr. Trump's reaction was typically bullish. In an email, he said, "I will never surrender."
Take 2 steps to your right!
During a dramatic freeway interception by armed police, this was the moment the suspected gunman, Ryan Wesley Routh, was apprehended. He was 40 miles from the Trump International Golf Course at West Palm Beach. He'd been laying in wait for 12 hours before the Secret Service spotted him as President Trump played golf. The 58-year-old had left his assault rifle with a scope and 2 backpacks containing bulletproof ceramic plates, perhaps to offer protection. A GoPro camera was attached to the fence, possibly to record the moment. In the immediate aftermath of an apparent second assassination attempt, vehicles sped from the golf course as Donald Trump was whisked back to the safety of his Mar-a-Lago estate. The former president was playing on the 5th hole. A Secret Service agent further along the course spotted the rifle and opened fire. Routh appeared in court this morning charged with firearms offences.
Not only did they neutralize the threat, but they also apprehended the individual.
Former FBI agent Stuart Kaplan says Donald Trump may now be confronted with tough advice from the Secret Service.
I think it's reasonable and expected that during his campaigning, they have to undertake and understand that that's within acceptable parameters. But maybe being on a golf course where it may be too open and the possibility of someone breaching that perimeter, I think he may have to reconsider that.
In Routh's home in Hawaii, law enforcement agents were seen conducting their investigation as neighbours spoke of a cordial man who showed no extreme views.
It's shocking. I mean, I think like anyone who would have ever done this, it's pretty shocking to anyone who knew him. It doesn't seem like anyone is capable of such a thing.
I'm looking for revolutionaries. Whatever people want to take this whole system down.
But Ryan Routh's social media posts reveal his committed activism.
My initial goal was to come and fight.
During a visit to Kyiv, he encouraged Americans to fight Russia.
If the governments will not send their official military, then we civilians have to pick up the torch and make this thing happen.
Tonight at a press conference, the acting head of the Secret Service defended his agents, saying Donald Trump's round of golf wasn't planned.
It was an off-the-record movement, meaning it was not on the former president's official schedule. And what I go back to is the layered approach. The elements and the methodologies of the Secret Service. There was a front element. It did its job in sweeping ahead of the president. That's what identified this individual who was in that wood line.
What happened?
Donald Trump narrowly survived an assassin's bullet during a rally in Pennsylvania in July. President Biden ordered increased security for both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris afterwards. Tonight, he condemned the attempted assassination.
No place in political violence for political violence in America. None. Zero. Never.
But many questions remain about how, for the second time, a gunman got so close to Donald Trump during one of the most divisive presidential campaigns in recent history.
Well, let's talk to both Dan and Robert now. Dan, perhaps you first. You said there are many questions. Do we have any answers tonight about exactly what went on here?
Well, I think there's still some yet to be uncovered. I mean, the Secret Service is pointing to the success of the vigilance of that agent who spotted this potential assassin in the woodline and discharged his weapon, causing the man to flee. But clearly there are questions about what kind of sweep of the perimeter was done. We were told that Ryan Routh had been in the woodline for 12 hours. So a lot of questions about exactly how thorough that sweep was. But also we were told that this was a spontaneous game of golf. And I think it's one of the things that's going to probably come out of this is that it's just no longer tenable for Donald Trump in this hyper-dynamic threat environment, as the Secret Service put it, to do things off the cuff when they know there are potentially people out there who wish to cause harm or try and kill him.
OK, Dan, thank you very much indeed. Well, Robert, look, 2 potential assassination attempts. We have to say, honestly, over the course of the campaign, and a lot of incendiary rhetoric too. Is there any sense that that is going to be or has been toned down as a result of this second bid to assassinate the president?
Well, look, in a sane world, you would have to assume that everyone here would be stepping back from the brink and trying to ensure that the 50 remaining days of this election campaign are more moderate and measured in tone. But Tom, it's the exact opposite that is happening. Both sides still regard each other as existential threats. Donald Trump making very clear that he regards the language of the Democrats as absolutely the trigger to these 2 assassination attempts. And the social media space is awash. It's absolutely drowning in conspiracy theories and angry posts, some of which appear to be even a call to action. And notably, to illustrate this, Elon Musk, the owner of X, a man with 200 million followers on the platform, wrote this. He said, "And no one is even trying to assassinate Biden, Kamala," and he put a thinking face emoji afterwards. Now, Musk deleted that and later said it was a joke. The White House has responded by saying that posting was irresponsible. And also the former president's son, Donald Trump Jr., wrote this. He said, "You know what's really old? Having to have conversations with my 5 young children about radical leftists trying to kill their grandfather." The bottom line is, look, the Secret Service can have all the resources it wants. It can have more agents, more armored cars, more counter-sniper teams, more surveillance. But while this toxic political culture exists, with this inflammatory language on powerful platforms, then I think every American political figure is at risk, especially in a country where almost everyone has access to a weapon.
Robert, it is pretty horrifying. Thank you very much indeed.